Hey, Kevin.
Hey Alex, how we doing, buddy?
How's it going, buddy?
Love the hat, buddy, but I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
So
Yeah,
how's the mean streets of London treating you today?
yeah, they're doing pretty good. It's pretty snowy here.
Yeah, we just so I live in Windsor.
Yeah,
Um, so we just got about 3 to 5 inches of snow here too. So
that's it. Only 3 to 5 inches. I'm just teasing.
yeah. I'm a summer guy myself. Give me 80 degrees and sunny all the time. I'm not a huge winter guy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's a certain kind of person who's a who's a winter fan, right? Me either, man. Me either. I'm not a big
Uh,
fan of
I
winter.
got you. So, what's new and exciting in the great city of London, buddy?
The great city of London. I would say what's new and exciting here right now is a lot of the artwork. Actually, there's been a lot of public art that the city's invested in this year, so that's been cool to see.
Very
um
cool. Very cool. Yeah, I know
yeah,
you have a background in painting murals, so I'm not surprised you gave me that answer, buddy.
yeah. Well, it's cool to see that the city, is welcoming more public art. I know Windsor, you guys have your whole mural lane, right? You have a
Yeah, new downtown. You got that exactly right. They spend a lot of our public dollars on beautifying the city, and art's a big draw around here. So next time you're down in winter, you should check out some of the new art, huh?
Absolutely. Next time I'm in Windsor, I'll definitely message you. Maybe we can check it out together. That'd be fun.
Absolutely. Hey, just before we get started, I want to thank you for doing this for me. It's most appreciated.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Thank you as well for reaching out and for inviting me onto your show. It looks like it's a pretty active show, and yeah, I was impressed by the guests and the caliber of which you've kind of been posting content and kind of maintaining consistent interviews. And yeah, I was like, right on, good for this guy.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. It's a lot of hard work, but I'm having a lot of fun. So I appreciate you watching, buddy. But yeah, just before we get started, I'll share a quick story with you. I
Okay.
actually, so I have what's called spastic quadriplegia cerebral palsy. So that just simply means that I don't have enough oxygen in my legs to walk normally, and it affects my muscle movement, muscle memory, and muscle dexterity and parts of my brain. So I actually have a history of in London because all of my leg and eye surgeries were handled at the Thames Valley Children's Hospital up there in London. So there's my
Hmm.
London story.
Nice.
So
Well,
yeah,
I mean, for someone who has experienced the condition that you have, you're certainly an inspiration. It seems to many around you as well as myself. And yeah, I'm impressed by the work that you're doing, and the positive attitude that you bring, and just the way that you can motivate people, despite things in your life, and things never work out the way they should. But here we are. We just gotta keep going, and we gotta, keep doing what makes us happy and what we're passionate about, right?
yeah, absolutely. I always tell people life is what you make of it, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, and one of my rewards for finishing surgery every time in London was my dad and I would go to Dairy Queen and get chicken tenders and some French fries. So that was my reward for finishing surgery. So there's my London story.
That's funny, actually. When I was younger, I had a really, really bad lisp. My mom made me go to speech therapy. And after every speech therapy, as you can imagine, it wasn't the most enjoyable, practicing, saying things a bunch, working on my T's and my R's. But after, we'd always go to McDonald's and get a burger and fries. So
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. L's and C's were my nemesis in speech therapy. So
Oh
I,
yeah.
I,
Been there, bud.
I
Yeah.
know where you're coming from there, buddy. But Alex, if you're ready, I'll welcome you to the program, and I'm excited to talk to you about the environment, your business ventures, and all about your personal life. So great to see you this evening, and thanks so much for being here.
My absolute pleasure, Kevin. Thank you so much for inviting me and for having me as a guest on your show.
Fantastic, Alex. I want to take a few seconds to thank you for making some time to share your entrepreneurial journey with me tonight. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I want to thank you for being here tonight. It's most appreciated.
My absolute pleasure, Kevin. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I was super excited to come here and to speak with you. And yeah, I hope to speak with you on my podcast in the next year. And we can, I can learn more about you because you had very insightful questions. And it's always nice to speak to someone who does their research as well. So I really appreciated that too.
And there's nothing wrong with the power of research, Alex.
No, absolutely not.
And thanks so much, and have a great day, okay?
All right. You as well, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Fantastic, Alex. We're done. That was so much fun. Thank you for that, buddy.
No, my pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me here. It's yeah, it's cool. It's fun being on the other side of the podcast. Do you know what I mean?
It,
'Cause I'm usually the one asking the questions, but yeah, no, it's nice. I actually just signed up for Matchmaker. It's a cool service.
Yeah, it makes my life a whole lot easier. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's a really nice way to connect with people and have you so like because I've reached out to a few podcasts myself. I've had a few people reach out to me. What have you found to be the response rate, like the conversion rate from your outreach to getting a guest?
Before I hosted this podcast, I actually hosted another one for 5 years.
Okay. Oh.
I built up a lot of organic contact, which has really helped me. But
Mm.
Matchmaker has really helped, and I always uh, tell podcasters not to be afraid to be vulnerable and sort of telling their own story in order to compel people to share theirs. Because if you're not vulnerable with yourself, right, people will be sheltered in the information they share with you. But to answer your question directly, I always say that everybody that tells me no is another opportunity for somebody to tell me yes. So,
Mhm.
what I typically do is I send every week at least 10 invitations out to like random people that I haven't met or to people in my network on LinkedIn or on through my other social media channels. And if I get 50 to 60% of those 10 people, I'm happy because it fills the week, right? Monday through
Mhm.
Friday. And it gives me a constant guest to cover a whole gamut of different topics.
Mm. Makes sense. Yeah.
So,
So yeah, it's interesting that like that's so you use LinkedIn a lot as well, eh, for finding
yeah,
guests?
linked. So I have over 7,000 connections on LinkedIn. I'm a constant networker, right? So part
Yeah, I
of
saw you added me today as well, so I could
yeah, of
check it out.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the way I get around having a disability, because there's some times where I can't physically get out to network with people, so I use social media to market myself and market my podcast and market the work that done to connect with people. So I'm
Mhm.
always open to having interesting conversations and connecting with people that I haven't met, right? So, and I
Totally.
have a background in journalism, so I'm used to
Yeah,
making
yeah, I saw that.
cold calls and that sort of a thing. So I love this stuff and I love networking with interesting people such as yourself.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So
it's cool.
yeah, and anytime that you want me on your podcast, just shoot me an email and we'll set it up. I'm looking forward to being on the other side of
Yeah,
answering questions, Alex.
yeah, like me. Yeah.
So